Welcome back, friends. So, that last review I did went over pretty well, and that kind of got me thinking. What else could I do that would be beneficial that's worth reviewing? Well, as it turns out, there's probably a lot of ways that people can save money or make themselves better financially that people just don't know about. So I figured I'd offer a little something in that regard, and hopefully this goes over as well too. But one of the biggest things we run into these days, obviously, is people not having enough money for even some of the basic things. But one of the biggest things is people aren't saving for long-term investment and retirement, or investing, or really anything that involves saving money because they don't have it to save. So they got me thinking. There's another app called Acorns that's actually really good. Like previously, there's been these savings accounts with banks where you actually get to save money, kind of like rounding up every time you go to shop. So say you make a purchase that's $10.53. It would take the remaining 47 cents, which rounds up to the next whole dollar, and it would add that to a savings account. Which for the most part is okay, but the problem is several savings accounts nationwide only have like a 0.2% interest rate. That's not going to really save you anything or get you anything, no matter how long it sits there. Now, I will preface this with saying you can have an online bank, which does, several of those have a 2% savings return, so that's pretty good. But what if I told you anybody can get that percentage just saving money they already save, and you don't even have to open a new bank account? That's where Acorns comes in. I saw ads for this going across Facebook and a couple other places a couple months ago. So I decided it's free, I'll take a chance on it, see how it works out. Well, have to admit, it's pretty good. It's very easy to use, the UI is great, there's a lot of benefits to it, and it's literally a way to save money without having to try to save money. That's what makes it the best. Even somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of money can actually invest in this. You can own stocks and just in real time see your investments. But why don't I just show you the app, like over there. So what this is, if you're looking at the interface, you turn it on. Obviously it's got a welcome screen, nice and simple, nothing too complicated there. But it does show you on that first page there that there are some other features that they try to sell you as well. So they're not necessary, you can still use the app completely for free, though they do have some other stuff that helps you for other investments. That's not really what we're going to dive into on this. But they do have some other options, so it is kind of a full suite of things without needing to go and find an investment broker and set up an account. Now if you scroll down, you can see they also give you an option to learn more just about investments in general. So it's kind of a, I guess you want to call it an instructional site and app as well. So if you just want to learn and get better and understand finances, this is good for that as well. And I would recommend it. Nothing wrong with knowing more about where your money's going, how to spend it, even what all the terminology means. There's a lot there that the average person never gets access to or doesn't even know where to look. This consolidates it all into one place. Then below that, you can see they have this thing called Earn Money. I haven't really used it yet, but I've been looking through it. And if you take a glance through it, it shows you tons of different sites that are connected to the program. The way it works is, as long as you go through the app to the website or the service that you plan to use, they'll give you a kickback directly to your savings. So let's say you use something like Grubhub regularly. Well, if you go through there, make a purchase, Grubhub's just going to drop an additional 50 cents into your Acorns account. So it's another way to save money while just doing things you already do. And their whole site is pretty vast. I mean, if you scroll through here, there's gas stations, clothing, all types of online shopping. I mean, it's ridiculous how many are in here. I've gone through and tried to kind of figure out which ones I'd even want to start using. But I mean, there's like Dollar Shave Club, Uber Eats, Which is in there if you want to buy flowers for somebody. Like so many things you already are going to purchase online. you're going to get money back and it just goes to savings. So it's another way to save without going out of your way to have to find more ways to put away more money. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, they found a way to integrate it into just your daily living. Now, the next part's the fun part. This is where you can see the activity of your money. You get to see all the graphs, see how your money's growing, see the percentage that you've gained. But it's put in a way that the UI is very simple to understand, which I think is a big deal. Because it's very easy to see charts and not be able to comprehend it. But this, you can look day to day, you can look monthly, quarterly, however you feel comfortable looking at it, or just look at the entire yearly frame. And you can even go up and down the graph to just see how the changes are day to day, which is interesting if you start playing around and trying to figure out how the news affects stocks and investments and whatnot. You can kind of just go in and take a look. Now, that $107 total you're seeing, that's over about 2 months. So it's pretty good. And it's no real extra work. Now here, the next section shows you your roundups, is what they call it. But basically, you can see how far you are because they only put money in once you hit a $5 cap. Until you hit $5, the money just sits there and works its way up. But you can see how far you are from the next $5 interval. So here you can see where we went to the zoo. Since it was $21, it rounds up an additional dollar into the account. There's a website I ordered some Magic the Gathering cards from. It was $7.99, so only 1 cent went in. I got gas that had 50 cents left over, so then that goes in, and so on and so on. But these are all things I did regularly. And the biggest thing is, when you think about it, kind of think about it in the way that if you were to go shopping, would you really miss an extra 50 cents? Because that's going to be your average, roughly. Probably not. But that 50 cents can now go to work for you instead of just sitting there doing nothing. And it seems small, but again, over the course of a couple months, you start adding up money, and it compounds. So the longer it sits there, you're going to get that 2 or 3%. The interest is going to keep piling up, and you're going to get more returns for that money just being there. Now, one of the other questions is, what other services do they offer? Well, like you see here, they have a debit card you can get that just works directly and puts money directly into your account. You also have a referral bonus that if anybody else comes on with your referral code, you get $5, they get $5. Pretty simple stuff. The biggest thing about it is the setup was very easy. You do have to give them your information because it is an investment account, so they do take your name, social, all that. And then you have to link a debit card. And the reason being is strictly because of the way the program works. Every time you make a purchase, it rounds up the money, puts it into savings. Like, that's actually not a bad deal. And what's cool is it links to the account. So once it's all set up, if you have multiple people that use the account, it works for the account in general. So if you have a spouse or a child or whatever also using your account and they go to get gas and there's 37 cents rounded up, that just counts and goes straight into the account. You don't have to both sign up for it or anything like that. So you can pretty much maintain everything from one interface, which is really, really, really cool. And over time, I think this would be really cool because one of the biggest things is there's a lot of people who have jobs that don't offer 401ks. They don't offer any type of savings or retirement plan. This isn't a ton of money, but it's a starting point for people. And when you set it up, you can even decide how long you plan on leaving it there. If it's going to be a 10-year account, 20-year account, 30-year account, if you want to retire when you're 55, 65, 70, like you can put that information in the beginning and really give yourself a shot at managing your future without having the know-how, without having to get a broker and pay monthly fees and do all this stuff. Like, it's all figured in. It also gives you the option of putting in a flat monthly amount as well. So for mine, I started out just testing it. I just have $5 going in every month in addition to the roundups. However, you can end up putting in $20 a month or whatever you feel comfortable with to speed up your savings and make it even more. But for people who don't have an option at all, I think this is really good. This is a great starting point. It's a good way to learn about investments. And there's just a lot that it offers that people just aren't going to have access to in a lot of ways. It actually makes savings achievable for the average person, which is great. So far, it's been really good. I've run into no problems. Logging in and out of the app's easy. I don't get a ton of emails except for when there's like a cool special offer or somebody new comes on board that has some kind of big found money offer. But otherwise, yeah, it's very unintrusive and you can check it whenever you want. I don't notice the money's missing from my account and it's really, really nice. So yeah, that's kind of it. If you want a way to save money and give yourself some investments, check out Acorns. It's really cool. So yeah, I hope you guys like these reviews. I'm going to be doing more of them. I have another one coming up hopefully here in the next week or two. So hopefully you will smash the likes there and subscribe and know whenever I have other stuff going up. And if there's anything you want to know about or you're curious about, point it out to me because I'm always looking for stuff like this. So if you have suggestions, please comment and let me know. But till next time, we'll see ya.